Just this once. And I want to
subscribe.
Car D Kaizoku.
Please buy my new Dawn. Maybe make your deck go dun dun. Baby, I know you wanna buy dun dun. My Dawn, da Dawn, Dawn, Dawn. This video is sponsored by Card Market, Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. This video is sponsored by Sleeve Chief. They've got sleeves, bam, deck boxes, bam, playmats, ba-bam, all with the beautiful designs on them for your dueling needs. It's Sleeve Chief's 2nd anniversary, happy birthday! And to celebrate, they're having an anniversary sale with 20% off site-wide. And this is perfect timing too because they're releasing 40 new products. And on top of that, you can use my affiliate code CARDKaizoku for an additional 5% off. Yes, it stacks. They also ship worldwide. So if you liked what you saw, head on over to the Sleeve Chief store and take advantage of their 20% off site-wide 2nd anniversary sale. Links in the descriptions below. The full list of OP08 has been revealed on the Japanese One Piece card game site. I know I could wait like a week or two for it to be up on the Asia English site, but you know, YouTube stuff, I gotta get this out now. So we're going to be looking at it via Google Translation. I can read some of the cards, but it'll take too long for the video, so I'll just Google Translate everything. And this video we'll be looking at probably just 3 colors, red, green, and blue. And we're going to be doing like a, I don't know, first impressions, review, I don't really know. I guess we'll just wing it and see how it goes. Okay, let's take a look at the first card here. So we have red, green, Tony Chopper, leader, dual color for life. What does he do? So during main phase, once per turn, you can rest Dawn with up to 3 characters with your own characteristic animal or drum kingdom. Up to 1 copy will be awarded. So let's try to translate a weenie effect, kind of like Zoro. Zoro's is a lot more universal, right? You just put 1 Dawn on leader and it buffs the whole board. This one requires rested Dawn, and you can only use it for 3 characters. And I think you cannot stack on the same character if my reading of this is correct, right? You can't have 2 characters and put 2 Dawn on one and 1 on the other. It has to be 1 each max on 3 different characters. That doesn't sound too great, especially since you're a 4 life leader. And yeah, it's type restricted too, so you have to work with whatever animal and drum kingdom cards they print in the set. And I don't think any of the past animals are that great either. So for a dual color leader effect, this one seems kind of weak. But we'll look at the rest of the set. Maybe the animal and drum kingdom cards are like strong enough to support themselves without needing a OP leader ability. Right, let's take a look at, it's another leader, red, blue, Marco. Also dual color, also 4 life. What does he do? Dawn times 1. Activate main. Once per turn, draw 1 card and place 1 card from your hand on top of your deck or bottom of your deck. After that, up to 1 of your opponent's characters gets minus 2000 power during this turn. Okay, that translated pretty fine. So basically you're cycling your hand, or not cycling, you're like filtering, right? Because you're drawing top card of deck and then you're placing a card in your hand back on top. If I remember correctly, the things that people were brewing with this was with cards like that Secret Sanji from 06, the 9-cost one that can cheat out whatever is on the top of your deck. And then this Marco's leader ability allows you to like guarantee what you put on top, guarantee what you cheat out with Sanji on the same turn that you play Sanji. But you do have to be at 10 Dawn, right? Because you need 1 Dawn on leader to activate this effect. So yeah, since there's already some synergy with the previous card, Chromarimo? I don't know if it's supposed to be 1 word or 2. I don't remember a lot of the Drum Kingdom characters too. The arc is like, what, 15, 20 years ago now? So what does he do? He's 4 cost 5k, 1k counter, and then on play, if you have your own chess, K up to 1 of your opponent's characters with power 3000 or less. Okay, so I'm guessing chess is another character, and I'm guessing chess maybe cheats this guy out, or else kind of hard to play him, right? Because you'll need 4 Dawn for this guy, and then whatever amount of Dawn for chess, unless you play chess the turn prior. But then yeah, that means chess could die. So let's see if the next card is chess, and it is chess. Okay, so 3 costs 3k, 1k counter, and then when on play, give minus 2000 power to 1 of your opponent's characters during this turn. And after that, if you do not have any Chromarimo cards, make up to 1 Chromarimo card appear from your hand. Okay, so gives minus 2k on play, then you cheat out a Chromarimo who KOs on play if there's a 3k or less. That's pretty synergistic. I just kind of wish chess was a higher stat line, but I guess for such a strong effect, they can't make him also an attacker. But yeah, Chopper can attach rested Dawn to these guys, so that makes him into a 4k, and then Chromarimo into a 6k. Well yeah, it does flood the board. It lets you play 2 characters for 3 Dawn with the potential to KO something that you gave minus 2k to. So on your 3 Dawn turn, that means your opponent was on their 2-Dawn turn. If they played a Searcher, you could play chess, cheat out Chromario, pop that. If you're going second, they would have played something on their 3-Dawn turn, which is probably a 5k. So yeah, this kills whatever they played. If they played a 3-drop, so I think that's a pretty strong combo actually. For the early game at least, it'll swing a lot of tempo in your favor. Oh, we have Chess Marimo too. What does he do? 5 cost 6k, 1k counter, dual type character. Or is he the combination of these past 2k? I guess if your opponent plays like a Lucci, it kills both somehow. But yeah, it just makes this into a 5 cost 8k, which it's alright, but I don't think this is too great. Ooh, we have a SR 2020 Chopper, another red SR 2020 Chopper. What does he do? 3 cost 5k, no counter. During your turn, when appearing, on play, or when attacking, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You can add up to one 4000 power or less animal. Play it, appear in rest form. Okay, so you can play out an animal from the top 5 cards of your deck with the power of 4000 or less. Then put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Okay, so yeah, another 2-for-1 card. This is like the Ivankov from 06. They can play out a Revolutionary Army with the 5000 power or less. So yeah, there's 2 good cards that flood the board now. Have there been any other animals? No, just all Drum Kingdom so far. Okay, so maybe there's some good animals we can play with this Chopper, but yeah. These bodies are stronger than like the Zoro bodies, like Curly the Dawn and Nami and stuff. So it's got that going for it, at least, to use the Rested Dawn with. We have Dalton here, 5 cost, 6k power, 1k counter, on play. Give minus 1000 power up to one of your opponent's characters during this turn. And it also has a second effect, Dawn times 1, activate main once per turn. You can add 1 card from the top of your life to your hand. This character gains Rush during this turn. Okay, so it gives minus 1k on play. That's not too great, actually. And then if you attach Dawn, that means you would have needed 6 Dawn to use his second effect. He makes you take a life, and he gains Rush to attack for 7k. I don't think he's good. Well, I guess no. You only need 5 Dawn to do it, right? Because Chopper can put Rested Dawn on him. Does that make him better though? I don't think so, because you have to take a life. And Red's not a deck that can easily recover from taking a life, like Yellow can. So yeah, maybe not that great. Mix card, Hiking Bear. Hiking Bear is a 2k counter and an animal, so that's something you can cheat out with that Chopper we saw earlier. 3 cost 3k, Dawn times 1, activate main once per turn up to one of your characters other than this that is an animal. Gets plus 1000 power during this turn. Okay, so I don't think it's used for the on-play as much. Not on-play, activate main, because you also have to attach Dawn. So I'm pretty sure this is purely a 2k counter. Then we have Monsieur Vanilla. He's filmed Drum Kingdom. I guess I didn't watch this movie. It's not even an animal, so yeah, just Drum Kingdom. Then we have Lapon. 3 costs 3k, 1k counter. Dawn times 2 when attacking. If your leader has the Drum Kingdom characteristic, KO to one of your opponent's characters with the power 4000 or less. Huh. It's kind of like that Beppo, the film Beppo, promo Beppo, but that one's at least a 2k counter. But it only has 2000 power or something like that, right? You do get to use Rested Dawn from leader at least once on this guy, but then you need to attach another one. And that's if my assumption that you can't put 2 Rested Dawn on the same character is true. So other than that, yeah, he's kind of easy to pop. You can pop him via cost. 3 cost is pretty low. You can pop him via power. Marco kills this. So I don't know if he'll ever stick on board. And he doesn't have rush, so yeah, he's just kind of like a liability for you. 3 down liability. So I don't think he's going to be great. I guess if you cheat him out with the Chopper, it's not too bad. But yeah, kind of meh. We have Robson. Robson is a 3 cost 4k blocker. No, he's not a blocker. If you attach 2 Dawn, he gains haste. And he is 4k, which is the upper limit for that Chopper. Since this costs 2 Dawn, I'm kind of doubting whether my interpretation is correct, where you can't put 2 Rested Dawn on the same character. Maybe there's a Q&A I can read. Let me try to find one. Oh, the Japanese site has like this cool like Q&A section now. It's not a PDF file anymore. Okay, what does it say here? Can I use this activate main effect to give one character 2 or more Dawn? No, I cannot. Okay, yeah, so he's Drum Kingdom, so Chopper can put that Rested Dawn on him. Oh, but yeah, he doesn't have rush, so it doesn't matter if you put it on this turn or not, because he has to attack to do it. But yeah, minus 2k and then buffing yourself to an 8k sounds pretty good. If anything, this is probably one of the better Drum Kingdom cards so far, at least. So there's that. We'll see if there's any other synergies with this Wapol card. We have Dr. Kureha. 1 cost 2k power. I think it's going to be a Searcher then with that stat line. Let's see. On play, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Yep, reveal up to 1 card other than another Dr. Kureha with the type Drum Kingdom or another 2020 Chopper and add it to your hand. Then put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Okay, yeah, so Drum Kingdom and Chopper, Searcher only, not Animal. So maybe Animal isn't going to be the main focus of the Chopper deck. It's going to be Drum Kingdom. We have Dr. Hiruruk. 3 costs, 0k power. That sounds like a 2k counter stat line. And he is a 2k counter. Activate main. This character can be rested. If your leader is Tony Tony Chopper, all your characters, Tony Tony Chopper get 2000 power during this turn. Okay, so what I think that means is if you rest this character, you can buff all your Chopper characters by 2k. So it's kind of like a Anthem effect. Are there enough Chopper cards for this to be good? I guess the Choppers can play each other, right? Because this Chopper can play out the EB01 Chopper, right? Yeah, he's 4k, so you can play out that Chopper with this Chopper. So I guess it's not too hard to get a bunch of Choppers out for Dr. Hiduduk to buff him for 2k. It's just if you can get them to stay on board until you can play this guy. But yeah, other than that, he's still a 2k counter, so it's like a pocket Anthem effect to buff your whole board in case you want to like go for the game. And if you can't at that point, he's still a 2k counter. So yeah, I think pretty nice card, pretty flexible. Red deck. It's just that you're gonna be stuck using this kind of naked old man art in your deck for this. So okay. Next card, Card Hoof Sakura. 2-cost event. Activate main. Up to 3 of your characters gets plus 1000 power during this turn. After that, up to 1 of your opponent's characters gets minus 2000 power during this turn. Okay, so if you have 3 characters out, 2 Dawn for 3k power is like efficient for the cost already. And in addition to that, you can get minus 2k as well. Yeah, with the amount of characters you can flood out with this deck, I feel like that works pretty well. This it's not leader locked too, or like type locked. So you could run this in a Zoro deck, or even a Repurple Law deck can utilize this pretty well. I'm interested to see how this card ends up being utilized. It might be more viable than in a Drum Kingdom deck. It has a trigger too. Up to 1 of your opponent's leaders or characters gets minus 3k during this turn. Okay, so that's pretty defensive trigger. I like this one. So far the events have been the best thing about red. Oh, we have another one. Baku Baku Food, 3-cost event. Then on main or counter, up to 1 of your opponent's characters get minus 3k during this turn. After that, up to 1 of your characters gets plus 3k during this turn. Yeah, 3 Dawn for 3k power is already efficient on that regard, but you also get the minus 3k. So instead of using 3 Dawn for something, you just use this. This might even be good with the Repurple Law, right? Because it's the 3 Dawn you use for your leader ability. Yeah, so you just buff your leader for 8 and get the minus 3k for free, technically. This actually might be better in the Repurple Law deck. Then trigger K up to 1 of your opponent's characters with the power of 5000 or less. So yeah, so I think this might actually be used in a Repurple Law deck because you could utilize it on play pretty easily. You can utilize it defensively as a counter. You can even utilize the trigger to kill something on board. I think this one's my favorite card actually. And it's only because I can use it in Law. We have Stage 2, Drum Kingdom Stage, 1 cost. During your opponent's turn, all characters with your characteristic Drum Kingdom get plus 1000 power. What the heck? So it's a Stage Anthem effect for your entire board. Okay, that changes things. So it's 1 Dawn from your leader and then plus 1000 from this stage. That's 2k power. Okay, we're moving on to green. We have Carrot. What does Carrot do? Activate main once per turn. If you have a character with Mink type out, you can rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters with the cost of 5 or less. And that's no extra Dawn needed. Activate once per turn. You don't even have to attack. That seems like a pretty flexible leader effect. You just need a Mink character out. So let's see what Minks they printed. We have Dogfish. That doesn't sound right. Let me read the Japanese here. Yeah, Inu Arashi. Why is it translated to Dogfish? Okay, what does he do? On play, if your leader has the Mink type, up to 2 of your characters with the cost of 5 or less on your opponent's rest will not become active during your opponent's next refresh phase. Okay, 2 of your opponent's rested characters with the cost of 5 or less do not become active on their next refresh phase. This is what that sounds like. I think that's alright. Playing him on 5, on curve, you rest your opponent's... No, he wouldn't have anything rested, right? Because he would have been 2, play a 2 cost maybe. On 4, it plays a 4 cost. The 2 cost probably can't attack. The 4 cost has Summoning Sickness, so they can't attack yet. But the turn after, that would be your 7 Dawn turn. That's when you can utilize it. Oh, but your leader can rest. Right, I forgot. So you'll play like a 3 cost Mink the turn before. On your 5 Dawn turn, you use your leader ability to tap their 4 drop. You play Inu Arashi. They can't attack with it the next turn. Seems pretty good. It's good even if you could only target 1, but you could target 2 things actually. Yeah, I like this guy. He has counter too. Okay, we have Carrot. Carrot, 5 cost 6k. 1k counter on play when attacking. Up to 1 of your characters with the cost of 7 or less on your opponent's rest will not become active during your opponent's next refresh phase. Okay, so kind of like Inu Arashi, but 7 cost and only 1. This one's only on play, but this one's also when attacking. Carrot. So I think Carrot is better, right? You don't really need to do it to 2 targets that early on your 5 Dawn turn. And then being able to target a 7 means you could even use Carrot on like a later turn. It's still relevant past the 5 Dawn turn. And yeah, 3, you play the turn before just to have a Mink out. And then, yeah, I guess if you need to prevent something else, like a Momonosuke or a Bonnie Searcher from untapping, you could attack with this Conslot, 4k at leader, just to get the freeze effect. I don't know. But yeah, it's just a 3 cost if you need a Mink out beforehand for your leader ability. Then we have Sicilian. This is not Sicilian, is it? Oh, it is Sicilian. Wait, isn't this Pedro? Or is Pedro a different character? Oh my god. Wano wasn't even that far ago. Or Zoe. Zoe wasn't that long ago. How did I forget? Okay, what does he do? 3 cost 4k power. On play, up to 1 character with the cost of 3 or less on your opponent. Okay, yeah, same thing. Freeze is a 3 cost. So there's a card for every cost, it seems like. So kind of like Conslot, but doesn't have to attack. So probably better, right? This is what you want to play on your 3 Dawn turn. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, if you have to attack to use Conslot, I don't think he'll be too viable at all. We have Giovanni of 2 cost 3k. Dawn times 1 when attacking. Freeze at 1 cost. This one probably not going to be used. I don't know, maybe just to activate having a Mink out, but other than that, I don't think he'll see much play. We have Tristan. Ooh, my favorite card. Just a 1-drop vanilla. Wooga. And then we have Cat Viper, Nekomamushi. Is that why I see Cat Viper sometimes? It translates it to Cat Viper, even though it says Nekomamushi here. Yeah, I guess the fan translated image I used is using Google Translate. Okay, what does he do? 5-drop, 6k power. 1k counter. On play, if there are 7 or more cards on the opponent's rest, this character gains rush during this turn. They played a 4-drop, right? So that's 4 rested cards. Then if their leader attack, that's 5. And if they attacked with the character, that is 6. That is not 7. So is that good? I guess he's a rush card for later in the game. It's not something you play on curve. Oh, right, but your leader and then... No, that's still... Like, the planets have to align for there to be 7 rested cards on your opponent's field when you play them on your 5 Dawn turn, I feel. So yeah, this might be like a late game card. I don't know, it's still a rush option in green, so I don't think you can discount it for that, but just as an on-curve play, not too impressive. We have Pecoms, 4-drop, 6k, no counter, so it must have a strong effect, right? This character is active. Characters other than Pecoms that have the Mink type with the cost of 3 or less cannot be KO'd by effects. Okay. What's a 3 cost or less Mink that is worth saving, I guess? Sicilian, Conslot. Maybe maybe not that great. I don't know, maybe there's other 3-drops that are good. We'll see. But here's Pedro. Okay, so Pedro is a completely different character. Okay, they kind of look the same, right? You can't blame me. This one's a lion, and then Pedro's a leopard. So Pedro is a 4 cost 5k blocker. And then when he gets KO'd, you can pick one of 2 effects. Your opponent's Dawn gets rested, or you can KO a character with the cost of 6 or less that is rested on your opponent's field. So it's like a Ryuma on steroids, because he's a blocker too, and has counter. Smaller stat line, but yeah, I think it's worth. This might even be good in a Perona deck. Yeah, I like it. He's just a rare too. Wow. Yeah, you'll probably never use the first effect, right? That only comes into play if your opponent left Dawn up for like a defensive event, or if they attack before playing something, right? Because you'll deny them 1 Dawn to use for the turn. But if they use all their Dawn up for the turn, or if they're not planning to leave Dawn up for an event, this doesn't really do anything. But yeah, the second effect is still great, and he's a blocker, so I like him. Okay, we have Miyagi, Mr. Miyagi here. 3 costs 1k power. On play, activate up to 1 character with the characteristic Mink type with the cost of 2 or less. Okay, so on play, you can untap 2 cost or less Mink. That doesn't sound good. We have Milky, the 2 cost that maybe this is synergistic with. Nope, it's a 2k counter, so probably not. Oh my god, the Minks are kinda... I'm learning a lot of things about myself in this video. Okay, so activate main, you can use this character as a rest. If your leader has Mink type, you can activate up to 1 Dawn card. Okay, so you can rest this character to untap one of your Dawn. I guess it's okay for utility, but you'd have to like use it on a future turn because it's already 2 Dawn to play this card out. So if you're trying to use it on the same turn, I don't think it's worth it. So probably just a 2k counter. We have Rhodey, a 1 cost 2k, 1k counter. On play, if your leader has the Mink type and there are several more cards on your opponent's field that are rested, KO up to 1 character with the cost of 2 or less in your opponent's rest. Okay, so you can KO at 2 cost. This might be usable in Perona maybe, but in a Mink deck, probably not, right? Green doesn't have a way to reduce costs, and then 2 costs isn't anything worth killing that you'll need 7 cards rested to activate, right? At that point, you're not really concerned about 2 drops. You're concerned about their like 5 or higher drops that they have 7 cards to rest to play. Up next is Wanda. Oh my goodness. Okay, 1 drop 2k counter. Oh, 1 drop 2k power. 1k counter on play. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Okay, so it's a Mink searcher that cannot find another Wanda. So yeah, I like it. We have BB Vanilla, 2 drop Electric Luna, 3 Dawn event. Activate main. All characters with the cost of 7 or less on your opponent's field that are rested do not become active on their next refresh phase. And then trigger set it to one of your opponent's characters as rested. So 3 Dawn to freeze. I don't know how to feel about this. It's a great defensive event, right? Because they don't get to attack you for another turn, and then you get to attack into their characters. but that really depends on your opponent having characters out for this to be worth it. Otherwise, it's a dead card in hand. And again, they can always counter out of your attacks too. So this would just be like a kind of starving tool at best. I don't know, the only things I can think of is it would be good in my like degen kid deck. When you're getting your rest triggers, you can keep their blockers rested to swing at face. But other than that, I don't know, it doesn't sound that great. But I'll definitely try to fit it in my degen deck. Right, next event, Garchu. 1 cost event. Activate main, you can turn one of your characters with the Mink type rested up to one of your opponent's characters will be rested. Okay, that's not too bad. 1 Dawn, rest any cost at the cost of having to rest one of your Minks. So you just use one of your Searcher Minks like Wanda. You can rest any cost character on your opponent's field. Trigger lets you draw a card too. Yeah, this is a great card actually in a Mink deck. And then another 1 cost event with a long ass name. We will not sell our comrades to the enemy. Main, you can rest 2 of your characters. All of your characters cannot be KO'd by your opponent's effect until the end of your opponent's next turn. Oh! Yeah, it seems like green has a lot of like 1 cost events that require you to rest characters to get pretty good effects. There's the other one that lets you draw 2 cards, the Samurai one from 01. And then this one makes your whole board immune to KO and it's not type locked. So any green deck can run this. I think this just makes the Perona deck even better. You can either draw cards or protect your board, and then if you don't have this card, you have Sabo as well. So yeah, your board's always safe. I think this will be a good card. Trigger lets you rest at 3 costs too. This might be like a staple Tua? Maybe? I don't know, it sounds really good. Right, let's go on to, stage card. I have Elephant, but it says Zo here, which I guess translates to elephant. But it's written in katakana, so that's his name. Zo, it's not literally an elephant, or else it would have the kanji for elephant. But enough about that, it's a 3 cost stage. Activate main, you can use this stage as a rest. If your leader has the characteristics Mink, you can unrest one of your Dawn. So you have access to 1 extra Dawn a turn because of this. At the end of your turn, activate one of your characters with the type of Mink. Okay, so you can untap a Dawn anytime during your turn, and then at the end of your turn, you can untap one of your Minks to keep it from being attacked into. So it's like a green-black Isho's effect baked into a stage card. 3 Dawn investment. I mean, it can't hurt, right? So you can attack with this Pedro and then make him a blocker again afterwards. And if they kill him or you block with them, he does KO whatever that attacked him. Most likely if it's a 6 cost. So stage would be good with Pedro. Yeah, probably just Pedro. Pedro's the best target for the stage card. Is it good though? 3 is kind of steep, but it does provide a lot of effects for you. I think we'll have to see. It might be good. Okay, moving on to blue. We have blue Whitebeard Pirates cards. At most, the first one. 4 costs 5k. On play, you can build 2 cards from your hand that have the Whitebeard's type. If your leader has the Whitebeard Pirates type as well, your opponent's cost is 4. Return out to one of the following characters to its owner's hand. What? Yeah, what I think it's saying is if you reveal 2 Whitebeard Pirates cards in your hand, you can bounce a 4 cost back to hand. Your opponent's 4 cost. Which I think that's pretty good, right? Play a 4-drop and then bounce your opponent's character, so it's kind of like pseudo removal. They'll have to like replay it. And if it's a card with no counter, then they don't get any benefit out of it. But yeah, if it's counter, they just get to use it as counter. But I think that's still good. You develop something and they have to redevelop their board. So I do like Atmos so far. Let's move on to Afelandra, who it's a Amazon Lily character. So more Boa support. Let's see, activate main. Oh, it's a 3-drop, 4k power. Activate main, you can return this character to its owner's hand. If your leader has a Kuja Pirates type, place up to 1 character on your opponent's field with the cost of 1 or less on the bottom of its owner's deck. Oh, it's a 2k counter. Yeah, I was like, that effect doesn't sound too great. It's not horrible, but yeah, 2k counter, so can't complain. I like it. We have another Weevil card. They're all 4-drops, all the Weevil cards. There's a like vanilla 3-drop one too, but yeah, let's see what he does. So Dawn times 1, when attacking, bounce a 3 cost or less to the owner's hand. So this fits in both the Doflamingo and a Boa deck. Does it have a slot in the Doflamingo deck? It does get rid of like small blockers, but I don't know, like everything else in the deck is kind of efficiently slotted already, in my opinion. So this might be more a Boa card. But even in Boa, I probably wouldn't run this card either. I don't know, it just seems kind of underwhelming compared to the other 7 Warlords 4-drops. Okay, well, we have 10-drop Newgate, Edward Newgate, 12k power, and then on play, if your leader has the Whitebeard Pirates type, and you have 2 or less life, all of your opponent's characters will have their own character. What? I think it's saying that if you have 2 or less life, all of your opponent's characters cannot attack you unless they discard 2 cards from their hand until your opponent's next turn. The end of your opponent's next turn. So essentially making it so that it freezes your opponent's board almost, unless you're willing to pitch 2 cards to attack you. So if they were attacking you for lethal the next turn, this wouldn't stop that unless they had no cards in hand. But if they did have the cards, they can still put 10 down on a character and let it rip, but I think for most intents and purposes, if you can drop it on your 10 Dawn turn, you're probably not going to be like about to die yet. So this does buy you another turn. That's an interesting way to go about it. It's kind of like the red one where it buffs your leader for 2k power, but this one is like requires your opponent to expand hand resources to attack you. That's kind of cool. All the Whitebeard cards, the Whitebeard character himself, kind of play the same. He doesn't have it when attacking though, but yeah, he's still a 12k body. Up next we have a new Kingdu, a blue Kingdu, 4-drop, 4k power, 2k counter. Activate main once per turn. You can reveal 2 cards from your hand with the Whitebeard parts type. This character gets 2000 power during this turn. So he becomes a vanilla if you have 2 Whitebeard parts in hand to reveal, but he's a 2k counter anyway. So yeah, pretty flexible card. We have Thatch. I feel like every Thatch card is about that scene where he's about to die. You always see like Blackbeard scheming in the background and him holding the fruit. That's like all his character is like devolved into. So 4-drop, 5k. If this character is KO'd or leaves the field due to an opponent's effect, you can put this card in the trash instead and draw 1 card. Oh, okay. So this gets around bottom decking. This is the counter to Houndblaze, but Houndblaze is a blue card, so put the counter to blue in blue. Great. It's a counter to Red Rock 2 and 3000 World. It's also a counter to Red Purple Law. And not really a counter, but more like he reduces the loss or mitigates the loss, right? Because instead of bottom decking, he goes into your trash for real, but you do get to replace him by drawing a card. So this is like an Omega tech card. I think it's pretty playable tech, to be honest. So we might see some Thatch play. Up next we have Peony. That's not her name. Yeah, her name says Shakyaku here. What does she do? 5-drop, 6k power during your turn once per turn when a character leaves the field due to your effect. If your opponent has 5 or more cards in hand, your opponent puts 1 card in their hand on the bottom of their deck. After that, make this character rest. So you can make your opponent kind of discard a card or bottom deck a card by resting this character for 5. If you're planning to use the effect on the turn you play her though. I guess it's alright. Oh, but it's only when something gets removed from the field. Yeah, I don't know. Because that means you can't attack with her too. Maybe not that great actually. Yeah, we have Jozu, who's not a 2k counter this time. 6k, 7k power. 6 cost, 7k power. 1k counter, and then on play you can return one of your characters other than this character to the owner's hand. Return out to 1 character with the cost of 6 or less to the owner's hand. Okay, so you could bounce a Searcher back to your hand and then bounce one of your opponent's characters back to their hand. 6 costs though. Might be good for like a tempo play. Yeah, actually maybe Jozu's good. And it bounces like a Ezo back to your hand that you could replay later in a red-blue Marco deck. And then we have Sweet Pea, a vanilla Amazon Lily card. So yeah, just good to have vanillas for that archetype, I guess. We have Speed Jill, 4 cost, 5k power, 1k counter. On play, reveal the top card of your deck and place it at the top or bottom of your deck. If the revealed card has a Whitebeard Pirates type, this character gains Rush during this turn. Okay, so you can guarantee the top card is a Whitebeard Pirates card with your leader ability as Marco. So 4-drop Rush in blue. So yeah, uncharacteristic for blue, so I have to give it extra value for that. It's not competing with too many other Rush cards in blue, so I think this is a good card. We have Namor, 3-drop, 2k counter. It's a Fishman Whitebeard Pirates blocker. So 3 cost blocker. Oh, it has an effect too. On play, draw 2 cards. Rearrange the 2 cards in your hand in any order and add them to your deck. Place it on the top or bottom. Okay, so it's like your leader effect except for 2 cards. Do you really need more than just your leader ability for this effect? But yeah, I guess this does fulfill the conditions where you have to reveal 2 Whitebeard Pirates type cards in your hand. So might as well have a blocker that does that. I don't know. But for now, I feel like leader ability is enough for this kind of effect. We have Bakin, the Weevil's mom, right? Let's see what she does. 1-drop, 2k power during your turn. On play, up to one of your Weevils gets plus 2k during this turn. Yeah, I don't think this will be good. So let's move on. Report Ghastly Ace, just a rare. 5-drop, 6k power. On play, reveal the top card of your deck. Make up to 1 character card with the Whitebeard Pirates type with the cost of 4 or less appear. Then place the rest on the top or bottom of your deck. Okay, so on play, you can reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Whitebeard Pirates type card with the cost of 4 or less, you can play it for free. That sounds amazing. That doesn't sound like a blue card or a red card at all. I guess it sounds like a blue card because Sanji does that. Yeah, since it plays from the top of your deck, it doesn't diminish your hand size. So this is like way better than like the Drum Kingdom cards that play out 2 for 1. Yeah, actually it's a really strong effect. It's essentially drawing a card and playing another character out for free. And usually like with that kind of effect, the drawback is you have to guarantee the top card of your deck, right? But that's like so easily achievable with the red-blue Marco leader, it kind of trivializes that cost. That kind of makes it a little broken, isn't it? Right? You don't have to play like a Perona or a Doflamingo to set it up. You just have your leader ability always guaranteed consistently. I don't know. I feel like this card is kind of broken. Might just be me though. Alright, next up is a blue event, 1 cost. Thank you for loving me. I have this as a t-shirt. I really like this art, this manga panel frame. What does it do though? On main, if your leader has the Whitebeard Pirates type, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and you can pick a Whitebeard Pirates or a Luffy card and add to your hand. Then rearrange and place it on the top or bottom. Okay, so it's just a Whitebeard Pirates plus Luffy searcher, but only 3 deep. Trigger lets you draw a card too. I guess with this and Whitebeard Pirates, you can run 4 1-drop searchers to revive your 5 cost Marcos with from 03. So yeah, I guess it's playable, right? In this kind of deck, in an events heavy deck that utilizes the Marco. Then we have another event. I guess I won't be able to get the king all of a sudden, the 3 cost. And then on counter, give up to one of your characters or your leader plus 3k power during this battle. Then after that, reveal the top card of your deck and have up to 1 character card with the characteristic Whitebeard Pirates with a cost of 3 or less appear. Then place the rest on the top or bottom of your deck. Okay, so it's similar to the ace card, but as a 3k event counter. I guess since Namor is a 3-drop, right? Yeah, 3-drop blocker. If you have this in your hand, use your leader effect, put it on top, and then pass the turn, have 3 down open. Counter for 3 and play out a blocker with this card. So you block 1 attack and then you can block the other attack. I guess, yeah, it's really defensive, but I don't know if it'll be usable, actually. It doesn't even have a trigger either. I'm doubtful if this will be playable, but I could be wrong. Then we have Phoenix Seal 4-drop. On main, you can reveal 2 cards from your hand with the Whitebeard Pirates type. You can bounce a 6 cost, or bottom deck a 6 cost, actually. That sounds good. It's like a better 3000 Worlds. And in a Marco deck, you'll have 2 Whitebeard Pirates cards in your hand most of the time. I guess this is kind of a dead card when you're like in the late game and you're just top decking cards with an empty hand because you won't have 2 cards to reveal. Is 6 like an important breakpoint? Because you could just run 3000 Worlds instead of this, right? Or even Red Rock. Actually, yeah, maybe this isn't as usable. It's like, in most cases, just as good, if not even a little better, but in the worst case scenario, it's like a completely dead card in hand. We have a new Moby Dick stage. Let's see if this one is as broken as the red one. So 2 costs, and then during your turn, once per turn, when your character with the Whitebeard Pirates type leaves the field due to an effect, to draw 1 card. Then place 1 card from your hand to the top or bottom of your deck. Okay, so it's your Marco leader ability for a second time. If you like remove something on board, again, like if you have access to your leader ability, why do you need to do it a second time? Unless I'm missing something. I guess if you don't have the Dawn to spare for your leader, this is where you would use the stage card, but I don't know, is it that inflexible that like that 1 Dawn matters? The trigger lets you play it for free too. Yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be missing something, let me know, but I feel like you don't need any extra copies of this effect outside of your leader. But yeah, that wraps up red, green, and blue for this video. I'll do purple, black, and yellow in a future video. Let me know what you guys think of these cards. Does anything excite you? And then let me know if I got anything wrong. I'm going off like the Google translation of these, so yeah, I could have some of these effects completely wrong, or I might have missed some synergies, so let me know. And then I'll put like a correction part in my next video in the beginning. And yeah, if you like my videos, do subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I know the YouTube algorithm like will recommend you my videos if you watch them every day, but then they'll suddenly just stop doing it on their own if you're not subscribed at some point. So if you want to keep seeing my videos, give it a click. You could always unsubscribe at a future date. I won't mind. But yeah, just don't want you guys to miss any videos if you are still interested. And that is one way to guarantee you get to see them. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.
Car D Kaizoku.